Texas League Baseball is next. And a good Saturday night, everybody. We welcome you to Texas League Baseball. And now here's the voice of the Midland Rockhounds and Texas League Baseball, the one, the only, John Baker.
Texas League Baseball.
Oh, yeah. Yep, Bob. Yeah, you got to watch that quietly. Yeah, turn down the volume. Thank you, Bob. Well, we welcome you into our live broadcast of Texas League Baseball. It is Game 5 of our 6-game set between the visiting San Antonio Missions and your Midland Rockhounds. Well, tonight after the game, sit back, relax, enjoy the best fireworks show, courtesy of Dr. Pepper. Series wraps up tomorrow afternoon, 1 o'clock, our first pitch, as San Antonio and Midland will converge one more time at Franco Park for the year. Missions are returning home to take on a short 3-game set against Corpus Christi starting July 1st through the 3rd, and then it is heading off to Corpus Christi starting July 4th through the 6th. Missions will head to Wichita, and then after that, it is finally 4 days being off. Missions will be back in action on Tuesday, July 18th, as we take on the visiting Amarillo Sod Poodles to lead off a 3-game set. Midland will be back for a final 6 times of the regular season, and so far, we are going to miss these guys when it comes down to the last ever meetup of these two ball clubs. Well, after that 9-game homestand between Amarillo and Midland, Missions will head off to Frisco. They'll start a 6-game set up in Statesman's Park, and then returning home to take on Springfield and getting back on the road taking on Tulsa. Missions will be back home to take on a 6-game set against Amarillo. Then it's back on the road taking on the Frisco Rough Riders. And then back home for a 6-game set. This will be the last ever 6-game homestand for San Antonio as they take on Corpus Christi. Missions will wrap up the regular season there in Springfield, and so far, may the best teams win who are advancing to the Texas League playoffs, and so far it will be well decided after the end of the first half who will advance forward and who will not advance forward into the Texas League playoff rounds. Well, anyway, I'm joined in the booth by my partner, Bob, and yep, good to see you again, Bob. Yes, John, always is. And so far, thank you for having me. And, you know, I got to say, it's good to have a good partner like you, my friend John. Yep, thank you, Bob. Well, last night, hey, pretty cool glasses. Sorry for interrupting, but man, you look like Steve Urkel with those glasses on. Well, Bob, I am nearsighted, but anyway, got me a brand new pair of glasses. But anyway, yeah, thank you for interrupting me. But anyway, yesterday we had a doubleheader, and yep, San Antonio won a game, and Midland won a game. The San Antonio Missions won their 43rd. They even lost to Midland. And so far, the Rockhounds now advancing to second place. They'll put Frisco in third. Amarillo and Corpus Christi are down in the 4 and 5 spots in the South Division. Springfield still holding on to a great lead there in the North Division. And so far, they are really doing good. We'll pull up the rest of the standings for everybody in the North Division. And so far, we're going to check on that just really quick. And so far, guessing we could go to the first pitch app, and because Bob is working on my computer, and so far it is installing Windows. Please do not turn the PC off while this takes time. Anyway, we tried to get on YouTube, and so far it's not letting us get on YouTube Live because it's been really, really screwing up and stuff. But anyway, we're going to look at our Texas League standings, and yeah, so far it's a pretty good thing and stuff. I mean, you look at San Antonio being the Texas League first place winners, and yeah, they're doing pretty good. Springfield leading the North Division, and so far you got Northwest Arkansas and Wichita, Arkansas, and Tulsa trailing in, not too far behind, but evidently the last place North Division team is Tulsa, which they are down by a lot. And so far it's not looking good for either Tulsa and Corpus Christi. Those two teams have really been struggling through the start of the season, and so far we are pretty much just a few weeks left into this first half, which San Antonio will take on the teams, the remaining two ball clubs here in Midland, and then 3 games in San Antonio taking on Corpus Christi, and then they go to Corpus Christi and take on San Antonio. So they do a switch around, and so far after that, San Antonio will leave Corpus Christi to go to Wichita and take on the Wind Surge, and then it'll be the 4 days off that we'll have. So evidently we get to rest, we get to do whatever we want, and yeah, we could go horseback riding and literally have a great time on that as well. Yeah, I gotta say, John, gonna be a pretty good time when we get our 4 days off, and so far, I'm going to ask, what are you going to do on your 4 days when we get to the end of the first half, John? Well, I got to say, Bob, I really do not know, but there's a lot of opportunity out there, and so far, I'm thinking about going to the movies, going horseback riding, which we have our proud sponsor in San Antonio that we all love very much, and that is West Creek Trail Rides, who is a proud sponsor of our San Antonio missions. Whataburger, served hot and fresh 24/7 for a lot of people. The Permian Basin has Whataburger stretched throughout Texas, Oklahoma, and Kansas, and so far, anywhere that's got a Whataburger. But anyway, pretty good place. Anyway, our proud broadcast for tonight's fireworks show is brought to you in part by Taco Villa. And gotta say, love the Taco Villa specialties out in those Bobby Cox run restaurants. But anyway, you can look for all 3 restaurants, Taco Villa, Texas Burger, and Roses. They are scattered throughout Amarillo, San Angelo, Midland, Odessa, Hobbs, and so far other places as well. And even Lubbock. Lubbock will have some pretty good ones as well. Yeah, I got to say, John, absolutely right. And so far, we went to Taco Villa just before coming to the ball game, and which that's going to be pretty good too. They've got a lot of good food and combination burritos. Your choice of red or green sauce. You can have a meat burrito, or you could go with the tacos, which the tacos are pretty good. I love tacos. Fresh salsa, hot salsa. It just depends what salsa I really like. But anyway, well, enough chit-chat. I know we've got a ball game to get to, and in the Permian Basin, we really love Midland really good. This was my home for 20 years. When we moved away, I've been in San Antonio for 13 years of my life, and so far really miss my old home. really much. I mean, the Permian Basin, all it is oil field. It's got pump jacks, oil rigs, big, huge jackrabbits, rattlesnakes. It's also got 3 great restaurants that Bobby Cox has owned. And I got to say, if he is watching, Bobby, we need you to kick Taco Cabana out of business, which I hope they will one day, because that's cat food. It's not really Mexican food. I mean, if you ask me, I mean, their ingredients are not fresh, but we really need Taco Villa down here. We need Roses and Texas Burger scattered throughout San Antonio, and so far, Austin, Texas would gladly have one, maybe a couple, but evidently they do have a Roses Cafe just 66 miles north of San Antonio, which that's pretty good. And yep, so far all they need is Taco Villa and Texas Burger to come in and put some restaurants out there. That'd be pretty nice. But anyway, we're going to quit talking, and yeah, we do have our broadcast here tonight. And so far, Game 5 of our 6-game set starting right now on this Saturday evening. Got a lot of clouds here tonight as we're getting started with this Game 5. And tomorrow, we are officially wrapping up our home series. Midland will pretty much get ready. And do believe they'll head on the road thinking they go to Amarillo. But anyway, right-hander Colin Palouse is coming in, a 4-seam fastball, slider, changeup, and a 2-seam fastball. And Bob, what's his weapon of choice? I think he would go with the slider on whatever he would go for. Well, here is the left fielder for San Antonio. Here is Albert Fabian. Fabian coming in, ready to go, and look like it's cloudy skies to me, but a lot of high clouds, and so far we have had some rain, which that was pretty good the other day, and that's why we did a double game yesterday. 1 ball and no strikes. That is popped foul, changeup, and the count now at 1-1. Well, let's give your ball clubs tonight. We got Springfield at Wichita, San Antonio at Midland, Tulsa. They're top of the 2nd inning. It is 3-0. We got Tulsa at Frisco, Northwest Arkansas at Corpus Christi, Arkansas at Amarillo. That one's going to be a liner straightaway up to right field, a base hit as it lands right in front of the right fielder. And so far, a pretty good line drive up there, and so far, pretty good on that. Ethan Salas coming in now as we get in, and he'll take a strike inside. The count now at 0-1. So far, we had movie night last night. Went to go watch How to Train Your Dragon, which that movie in live action gives the animated movie a run for its money. So catch How to Train Your Dragon in theaters right now. I mean, it'll be out for at least a few months, and then they'll take it off the now playing list. But June 11th, 2027 is when How to Train Your Dragon 2 comes out, which that will be pretty good. Top of the 2nd there in Corpus Christi, Northwest Arkansas. No score through a top half of the 2nd inning there at Bayfront Park, and that's going to be a full count now. 3 balls, 2 strikes to the center fielder, Joshua Mears. Pretty good ball game in Amarillo last night, right, Bob? Got to say, yeah, it was a pretty good one. And that is ball 4. Palouse gets a walk inherited.
The center fielder, number 14.
And that'll bring up the next batter up, center fielder Joshua Mears. Mears coming in, looking in. That's down and in for a cold strike. It's 0-1. Well, San Antonio's meet up with the North Divisions is Wichita, Springfield, and Tulsa. Arkansas and Northwest Arkansas are eliminated. No balls, 2 strikes, 2-1. A base hit and a walk inherited. And a pitch. That's going to be right there. That's ground hopper. He'll step on 1. He's got 2. And that's a 3-1 double play. And they will get him on a 5-3. Marcos Castañon comes in. Don't forget, we will have Christmas in Frisco as we take on the Frisco Rough Riders. They will get on their red and green uniforms. The Frisco, whatever it is, what is that? Frisco Conquesos. Oh, yeah. Okay. Thank you, Bob. I was wondering what that was. So no balls, 2 strikes to Castañon, and he swings and misses, and that ends the inning. So no runs on a hit, no errors, 2 left on after a base hit and a walk. And we now head to the bottom of the first, and it's no score through the top half of 1. Rockhounds coming to bat. Now set to go for the bottom of the first inning for Midland right now in the Rockhounds Baseball Network. Thank you, Bob. And our starter on San Antonio, Logan Gillespie, is getting on the mound for San Antonio. 11-1 innings with an ERA of 7.15, a 14 and a third, .320.
For Midland, the shortstop.
So pretty good on that. Shortstop is Irabel Angeles as he'll strike up now for Midland. And that is going to be crushed and fouled, and the count now 0-1. Rockhounds wearing their jerseys. It's a look like Corpus Christi type jersey, but anyway, it's Midland Amigos. It used to be trying to think of what it was way back then. Back in 2019, San Antonio was a AAA team way back then, and that's a swing and a miss right there, and that is down for the first out here in this half inning. It was the Matamoscas Medessa back in 2019. They did that for at least a few more years before cutting them out. Second baseman is Colby Halter Alter coming in, ready to go, and he's got no one count. No score in this ball game as San Antonio didn't score anything in the top of the first inning. So no balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch. Swing! Got him! And there is 2 down. Ouch. Not a thing you want to see when giving up that many. But that'll bring up Nate Nankill as he comes in. Got to charge up the good old phone here, Bob. And that's going to be a pitch clock violation as he waited too long. So 1 ball and no strikes to Nankill, and he'll take that one down and in. It's 1-1. Bob, what is the status on the computer over here? Oh, it's still installing Windows. It is continuing to get updates going. Right there, high in the air, and that is the 3rd and final out. So no runs, hits, or errors, nobody left on for Midland as we now head to the 2nd inning, and it's no score through 1. Campbell, Roederer, and Rojas will lead it off when we come back to lead off the top of the 2nd for San Antonio. We'll be right back. Top half of the 2nd inning for San Antonio right now on the Rockhounds Baseball Network. Alrighty, we are set to go. Right fielder Jacob Campbell ready to get this next half inning underway. The slider down and inside for a strike. The count now 0-1. So it's about 82% installing Windows and getting everything going. That one down and in for a ball. The count now 1-1. Well, this October, it's a brand new season of horseback riding adventures every Saturday morning starting this October, which that is pretty good as well. Yeah, I got to say, John, 3rd season went pretty well. So first 3 seasons are now available on YouTube, home of J. Baker Vlogs. That is right, Bob. Thank you for giving me that great shout out. Yeah, you're welcome, John. My wife and I watch your videos a lot, and Boy, we love West Creek. It's the best place, and you've made a lot of great videos. Even a new series like Picani. Oh, yeah. My partner really loves to get loved on. I mean, you should write him sometime, Bob. Well, I might do that. So designated hitter is Cole Roederer as he stands in, 2 balls and no strikes to him. Well, so far, computer should be running pretty good after doing a automatic reset.
1 strike.
So 2 balls, 1 strike. And here's the pitch. That is a changeup, and the count now at 2-2. You know, I sure hope that people don't call me Four Eyes just because I bought a new pair of glasses. Nah, I don't think they'll call you Four Eyes. Yeah, you don't think so, right, Bob? Nah. So right there and outside, as that is foul. And the count now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's pitch, and that's going to be lined high in the air up to left field, and they're 2 down.
Batting 7th, the third baseman, Gendry Rojas.
Yendry Rojas, the third baseman, coming up now. Set to go. And a pitch is outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Well, it will be a partly cloudy evening, but clouds will increase by later on tonight. Could have a 20% chance of a shower, maybe a thunder shower. Well, that's going to be a liner straightaway up the center field, a base hit. So a 2-out single keeps San Antonio's roster moving.
The second baseman, Nerwillian.
That'll bring up the second baseman, Nerwillian Cedeno, as he comes in. I'll tell you one thing, I just cannot believe that July 4th is coming up and we celebrate the holiday. Independence Day is the day that all of us remember that we are free each and every single day. And nobody, and I mean nobody, can take that freedom away. Yeah, you're right about that, John. Nobody can. Not the news, not anybody that believes the fake news, and nobody that says, oh, there ain't no freedom because freedom is expelled. Yeah, right. That's a bunch of bogus and fake news, too. Yep. Sure thing it is, Bob. That's going to be right there out of play, and the count now still holding 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch. Outside, and boy, there goes another wild pitch, and that'll put a runner to third now. Boy, 1 more of those, and it will be the first run in to score for San Antonio. One ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. And there he goes again. And they got him right there at the plate, and that ends the inning. Overzealous right there. But no runs on a hit, no errors, and nobody left. We had now 2.5, and still no score. So Nick Kurtz will lead it off for the bottom of 2. When we come back, it's no score through 2.5. Well, we go to the bottom half of the second inning for Midland. Right now, the Rockhounds Baseball Network. Nick Kurtz leads it off. That is 4-5-6 due up against Logan Gillespie. Gillespie down and ready to go. Here's the pitch down in the inside corner for a strike. It's 0-1. Got a great crowd tonight. Evidently, a lot of kids are out of school enjoying summer vacation. Now in high fly in the air. Mears in pursuit right on the warning track. And he's got it for out number 1.
Batting fifth, the left fielder, Caden.
That'll bring up the left fielder, Caden Trinkle. Trinkle coming in, ready to go. Now, the Rockhound uniforms, Midland Amigos logo right on the chest. Kind of reminds me of the old Corpus Christi logo with hooks inscribed. The 0-1. And that is outside. The count now at 1-1. Even though Corpus Christi got their brand new looks and stuff. Kind of look like a boring look to me, but evidently not making fun of them. I'm just saying, I think they made a big mistake changing a perfectly good look to a new look. Well, sure hope San Antonio doesn't change their look. Well, I hope not, Bob. Hopefully they'll keep this look forever and ever and ever, and so far as we head off to the future. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And that one is hit foul. And the count now 2-2. Well, any update on the computer, Bob? It is still doing its work. So, oh, it looked like it's finished. So hopefully things are getting pretty good. Yep. Hopefully they are. Maybe get this thing working and maybe just see how good it works. We've got some updates for your PC. That's what it's saying. But even though you are the tech genius, Bob. Yep, sure am. No, designated hitter is Nick Schwartz as he'll come in. So here's no balls and 1 strike, and that's going to be high and outside. And the count now 1-1. Well, it's going to take several minutes for this PC to get fully adjusted. And so far, pretty good. Well, right there in the count now. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here's a 1-2. And that is popped foul. And the count now holding at 1-2 to Schwartz. And a pitch. It's right there, high in the air, up to right center. Campbell, in pursuit of it, makes the play, and that'll retire the side. So, no runs, hits, or errors, nobody left on, and we head to the 3rd inning. Cedeno DeVries Fabian will lead it off for San Antonio. No score as we go to the 3rd inning. So we'll be right back as we'll bring you the top of 3 for San Antonio. No score through 2. Well, gotta say, computer is back up and running. Bob, what'd you do to make it so fast?
Gotta say, computer.
Oh, do apologize about that. Can actually pick up our live stream, which that is good. Well, gotta say, John, as a tech genius, it's always good to have me by your side. Man, I'm gonna have to take you everywhere with me. You're just one of a kind. Yep, I'm always glad to be here, John. Well, we lead off the top of the third inning. Here is Nerwillian Cedeno. The Blues will face 8-9-1. And that's going to be inside for a strike, and the count now at 0-1. How to Train Your Dragon in theaters. So if y'all went and saw it, that's a line drive up to right field. That's a base hit. Well, tonight if Midland scores in, they win the ball game. Everybody in the audience will get family pack of tickets to go watch that, which that's going to be pretty nice. I think live action is giving the animated film a run for its money. What do you think, Bob? I think so. I mean, it's one of them things, but I think it's giving it a run for its money. Yeah, I think so too, Bob. Shortstop Leo Dallas DeVries in now. No balls, one strike. Runner at first, nobody out. Top of the third. That one bashed right there and out of play. Oh, no. I think that baseball just hit a windshield right in that in parking right there.
That's a ball.
And that is right there. But anyway, that is the service provider of AAA insurance here in Midland. And, yep, if you have an insurance claim, yes, make sure, ouch, you get it with AAA. Uh-oh, there's a car crash right there.
Fabian.
So that's the left fielder, Albert Fabian. Now runner in scoring position after the 9-hole batter got struck. That's going to be right there. The 2-1, and they relay, and they get 2. So that's a Taco Villa double play. Fourth 6-3 double play right there. And boy, pretty good as they get in, and boy, they get something going. You know, anyway, glad that this computer is running pretty good, and whatever slowed it down, boy, it slowed it down pretty badly. But with Bob being the tech genius here, he really works on computers. Yeah, John, I sure do. Make them run just really great again. Yeah, you do. Boy, I'm going to have to give you a raise. How about $30 an hour? That would be great. And right there, line drive. And woo! Yeah, look at there. The first run for San Antonio nearly came in, but that will do it. No runs on a hit, no errors, and they leave 2 left. 3.5, and still no score as we head to the bottom of the third. Henry, Bolt, Swift, and MacGyver is coming in now as we'll get set to go to the bottom of the third for Midland. And so far, pretty good on that one. You know, it is... Let's see what we got going on here. We'll give you some scores as we get going. Tulsa now leading the Frisco Rough Riders 4-0. Corpus Christi leading the Northwest Arkansas Naturals 1-0. Arkansas leading Amarillo 4-0. Well, so far, pretty good ball games as we get the evening going. And don't forget, we do have a lot going on in this week, and so far it'll be our last 3-game set for the home half of 3. Well, 3 games there in San Antonio, and then 3 in Corpus Christi, then off to Wichita right after that. Yep, gotta say, Bob, absolutely right about that. But anyway, hopefully we can get into Bally Life, which that is also our other proud sponsor app. Should be getting a code. There it is. And there we go. So anyway, yeah, that makes it a whole lot better. We can watch our ball games, we can have fun, and we can see what's going on throughout the Texas League, which that's going to be pretty cool. And we got Springfield leading 8-4 against Wichita. They're top of the 6th inning, which really that's pretty good. I mean, you look at these ball clubs. There we go. We've got 4 games going all at the same time, which that is pretty good. And the Frisco Rough Riders being the Oak Milkers, which they rent the uniforms. So far, pretty good. Well, anyway, we lead off the bottom of the 3rd. Henry Bolt's coming in. Swift and MacGyver coming as well. No score through the first 3.5 innings. So far, it's just been a 3-up, 3-down battle, and that's going to be down and outside for a cold strike. It's 0-1. Well, I'll tell you one thing. I think Amarillo's got their first base runner, and which that is pretty good. So right there in the count now is 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. That is fouled off. Don't forget July 4th coming up. And yes, a federal holiday is also coming up for all air bases. That is high in the air up to the mound area. DeVries will get it. Calls off the 3rd baseman. And that is out number 1. 3rd baseman Drew Swift coming in now. Arkansas lead Amarillo 4-0. Tulsa leads Frisco 4-0. Springfield leads Wichita 8-4. Northwest Arkansas leads Corpus Christi 1-0. And it is no score here in Midland. San Antonio and the Rockhounds in the bottom of the 3rd inning, taking that one inside for a strike, and the count now at 1-1. Swift is 1 out and nobody on, so no partners for him to get on. And that's a swing and a miss. The count now at 1 ball and 2 strikes. So far, thank you, Bob, for getting this computer back up and running. And we can officially watch YouTube videos or whatever we want. We also need to get that Avast antivirus, which will block anything that comes in or out. Trying to get in, and that's going to be right there in the count now at 0-1. MacGyver at averaging 321 over 400. He's had 15 home runs for Midland this year. I have to watch this guy because literally he'll just get you. 31 pitches for Logan Gillespie. And that's going to be lifted high in the air up to right field. Campbell makes the play, and that's the inning. No runs, hits, errors, nobody left on for Midland. As we head to the fourth inning, it is no scores through 3. Mears, Castagnon, Campbell will lead it off for San Antonio when we come back for the fourth inning. Well, on now to the top of the fourth inning for San Antonio right now in the Rockhounds Baseball Network. Thank you, Bob. And we are here as again. Joshua Mears will lead it off in the fourth inning for the San Antonio Missions. Here's the pitch, and that is inside for a strike. The count now 0-1. A few months prior to right now, San Antonio will unveil the 2026 schedule. And hopefully, under the affiliation of the San Diego Padres, that evidently schedules are being made right now in each affiliation, like Midland is Oakland A's, San Antonio is the San Diego Padres, Corpus Christi, Houston Astros,
The first baseman, number 6,
Amarillo is the Arizona Diamondbacks, Frisco is Texas Rangers, Wichita belongs to the Minnesota Twins, formerly known as the New Orleans Baby Cakes way back then, back in 2019 when they were part of a AAA Pacific Coast League team in New Orleans. Team went out of business. They filed for a Class A bankruptcy. And pretty much that put a lot of people out of work after that. City Council decided it was best to go and transfer the existing ball club in New Orleans to get them in the Wichita. Well, 2 down, and Castagnon is down and out. Right fielder Jacob Campbell coming in as he's set to go. In the windup, in the pitch. That's going to be right there, up to third, flip across, and that does it. No runs, hits, or errors. Nobody left on, as that will be 4.5. No scores here in this one. We're back to the top of the lineup. Angeles, Halter, and Nankill will lead it off in the fourth inning for Midland. We're back here as we'll get set to go in just a few moments. We now head to the bottom of the fourth inning for Midland, right now the Rockhounds Baseball Network. Well, here is Arabelle Angeles as we lead off the bottom of 4. 1, 2, and 3 due up against Logan Gillespie on the hill for San Antonio. And here's the pitch. That is right there in the end for a strike, and the count now at 0-1. One more game here in Midland, and that will do it for the year for these two ball clubs. Next homestand will be a short one. It'll be 3 against the Sod Poodles. San Antonio taking on Corpus Christi for that short lead on 3, and then it's off to Corpus Christi. And then San Antonio will head to Wichita. And that will pretty much be it for at least 4 days after the first half concludes. That's right there, and that is out number one as Jacob Campbell will pull that one down, and that will be out number one. Second baseman Colby Halter coming in as he is set to go. Here's the pitch. That one high fly and out of play, foul, and the count now 0-1. So far, computer works really great there, Bob. You did a great job. Thank you, John. And yeah, do I get a raise? Yeah, you're up to $30 an hour. And the 0-2. And right there, out of play. So in the count now, it's no balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be crushed. Up to right field. It's gone. And Midland strikes first by Colby Halter. And they will push across that run. It's now a 1-0 early lead in the bottom of 4. And tell you one thing, John, I didn't see that one coming, but they surely did. Well, Nate Nankiel coming in. 40 pitches to Logan Gillespie as he does his 4th inning of work. Right fielder Nate Nankiel flew out last time up as 0 for 1. So far, pretty good for him as he comes in and gets something going. The windup and the pitch. And that's inside for a strike, and the count now at 0-2. Boy, so far, pretty good on those. First 2 pitches in for strikes. That is out of play, foul. And the count still remaining 0-2. We got fans watching from San Antonio there at Wolf Stadium. Big giant scoreboard of ours. So far, to celebrate, we are going to have, after the ball game, we'll get the post-game fireworks going there at Wolf Stadium. And so far, just pretend that San Antonio is home. Evidently, they are here in Midland this week. Now in high fly in the air up to left field. And now due for the inning. But Colby Halter gets a RBI, and he'll push across the run. So we head to the 5th inning. Midland leads this game 1-0. And we're about set to go as designated hitter Cole Roederer will stand in for San Antonio when we come back. All right, everybody. Sorry about the wait for the next half inning as we get set to go. And, yep, we are headed to the fifth for San Antonio. Cole Roederer coming in as we are set to go here in the top of five. Had to go test out a little vacuum cleaner I bought. Midland up 1-0, top of the fifth inning, and so far we were gone for at least a little bit. But anyway, I think we were gone for. We should see where we were.
2 balls, 1 strike.
That's 2 balls and 1 strike. And that is going to be popped foul. The count now 2-2. So from that, we were gone for about maybe 10 minutes, but we are back at it right now. 5th strikeout for Colin Palouse, and here is Yendry Rojas as he comes in. Boy, Springfield sure giving Wichita a whooping. It's 11-5. They gave them a whooping last night. And I tell you one thing, it's just rough around the edges when you're down by that many runs. And that's right there in the count now at 0-2 to Rojas. And a pitch. And boy, look out. That one just about took his nose off. When Northwest Arkansas and Corpus Christi tied at 1-1. And that is down and outside. The count now 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Top of the 5th. Outside for a full count. Now 3-2. On deck is Norwillian Cedeno as he comes in. And, whoa, another run in to score. And Springfield now leading 12-5 against Wichita. And so far that will be a base walk as he loses him as 3-2 the count and up high, and that's a base walk. And here's Norwillian Cedeno. 1 on, 1 away. And that's outside. The count now 0-2. Good hold up by Cedeno. Still a 1-run ball game for Midland. Cedeno can knock it out of the ballpark. And that is fouled off. The count now 0-2. It was a split even on a doubleheader yesterday. Evidently, San Antonio and Midland both won a game, so that was fair enough. 1 win, 1 loss for both sides.
Number 94.
Here is Leo Dallas DeVries, the shortstop. Hit by a pitch in the third inning. Well, so far now Arkansas leading Amarillo 6-0. Midland leading San Antonio by a run. It's 1-0 here in the ballpark in Midland, Texas. Leo Dallas DeVries coming in, and he hits that one out of play foul, and the count now 0-2. So far, so good here this evening. San Antonio has a tying run. Go ahead at plate. Swing and a miss. Got him. And that's how the inning comes to an end. So, no runs, no hits, no errors, 1 walk issued. And we're 5.5 here this evening. And Midland leads it by 1-0. Caden Trinkle will lead it off when we come back in this broadcast on a Saturday night. It's a 1-0 ball game here in Midland. All right, here we go for the next half inning. Caden Trinkle will lead it off for Midland.
Now pitching
Well,
for
that will
San
do
Antonio,
for pretty much
number 60,
as we get set to go. Omar Cruz.
Cruz.
Logan Gillespie is out after 4 innings of work, and now the first relief pitcher comes in to get going here for San Antonio. Cruz now pitching for the Missions. Here's the pitch, and that's an inside strike, and the count now 0-1. As we're now bottom of 5 here this evening. And the pitch, that is high fly in the air, up to left field, and Fabian tries to run it down and can't get to it. Boy, as that one tried to get going there for the out. That one fouled off. And the count now at 0-2. Midland 1, San Antonio 0. Bottom of 5. Trinkle to the plate, and that is fouled off. And the pitch. That one skied to left field. Fabian in pursuit makes the play, and there's one down. So what a great play.
Designated hitter, Nick.
That'll bring in the designated hitter, Nick Schwartz, as he's 0 for 1 in a flyout. Here's the pitch is inside for a strike, and the count now 0-1. 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon on a Sunday.
Nope.
Pretty nice, and the 4-seam fastball down and in. It's 1-1. 6-0 Arkansas there in Amarillo. Boy, that is, well, never mind. It's a 2-run shot for the Sod Poodles, and now they get on the board. Direction, it is Arkansas 6, Amarillo 2. Up to right field, that is out number 2. Schwartz goes down, and that'll bring up center fielder Henry Bolt. Tulsa leading 5-1 against Frisco. Rough Riders down 3rd place in the Texas League South. Boy, getting pretty bad. As now Wichita down to their final 6 outs. I've got to say, it is not going so good for the Frisco Rough Riders. Midland now in 2nd place behind San Antonio, just 3.5 games back against the San Antonio Missions.
Inside, ball 2.
3.5 against Midland. Here's 2-1. And that's an inside strike. The count now 2-2. Well, Frisco is a half game back against Midland. Amarillo and Corpus Christi can't even say what's going on with them two teams. And that's going to be right there. Line drive up to center field. Joshua Mears has it, and that will do it. 5 innings come and go, but Midland has this lead by 1. We head to the 6th inning, and the Rockhounds have a 1-0 early advantage. And it is going to the left fielder left-hander coming out. As we'll pitch in relief for Midland when we come back for the top half of the 6th inning. Top half of the sixth inning for San Antonio coming up right now on the Rockhounds Baseball Network. Thank you, Bob. A left-hander, Ben Bowden, is getting warmed up, ready to go as he's called upon to pitch for Midland. Bowden now pitching for the Rockhounds. So four-seam, splitter, slider, and a two-seam fastball. Be his four-pitch command right there, but he could choose one to be his best weapon of choice. The left fielder, Albert Fabian, coming in. Set to go here in the top half of the San Antonio sixth inning. That's down and inside, 1 ball and no strikes. Northwest Arkansas still leading Corpus Christi by 1-1. It's a tie ball game there in Corpus Christi, Texas. Arkansas leading 4 runs against the Amarillo Sod Poodles. It's 6-2. Top of the 7th inning there at Waterridge Field in downtown Amarillo. That's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Boy, Springfield leading 12-5 against Wichita. There at the ports there in Wichita, Kansas. And that's right there, and that's going to get down for a strikeout. And they'll throw him out at first. Easy play. That's a tailor-made for the first out.
Now batter, the catcher,
Ethan Salas comes up once again as he was inherited the walk last time up. He's 0 for 1. So evidently the Rockhounds taking on Amarillo for a short 3-game set. Then it's a switch around. And Midland heads to Amarillo for that short 3. And that's a swing and a miss. The count now
1 ball, 1 strike.
at 1 ball and 1 strike. Here's the pitch. And that is outside. The count now 2-1. Well, evidently, we are going to look at something going, and that will be right there in the count now. And for strike 2, the count 2-2. 2-2. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him. And there is a strikeout. Boy, they continue to hold San Antonio off the scoreboard. That'll bring up Joshua Mears. Well, it's Amarillo taking on the Sod Poodles. Well, I should say Midland's taking on Amarillo. Short 3-game set. Then it's off to Amarillo. And the pitch. That's right there. The count now 0-2.
2 strikes.
Well, they're back for a short, 3-game set against Arkansas. How do you like that?
Ball, that's in.
Boy, I tell you what, Arkansas went to Corpus Christi, Frisco, Amarillo, and Midland, and they did not come to San Antonio this year. But hopefully, that next year in 2026 be a whole lot better. Well, the Arkansas Travelers and Tulsa Drillers. That one high flying in the air up to center, and that will pretty much do for this half inning. So still nothing doing, as that will be no runs, hits, or errors, and nobody left on for the Missions. 8-9-1 due up for the bottom half of the 6th, and Midland still holds that 1-0 lead against the Missions as we head to the bottom of the 6th. Drew Swift, McIver, and Angeles will lead it off when we come back here in this one. Well, Midland's schedule, second half, Friday, July 18th through the 20th, taking on the Arkansas Travelers. Then next homestand is Tuesday, July 29th through August 3rd, taking on the Tulsa Drillers. Boy, and these guys, they sure get lucky taking on what appears to be pretty good North Division teams. And so far, I do believe we might have a early look at 2026's schedule. And so far, that would be pretty good. They get in there and get something going. Anyway, we can check and see a little surprise has been left for us, but evidently going to be pretty nice getting that 2026 schedule and seeing who we're playing up against. That'd be pretty nice. I mean, if San Antonio could get 2 North Divisions to the Alamo City, which that would be pretty good. All right, we're back here for the bottom half of the sixth inning for Midland, right now on the Rockhounds Baseball Network. Thank you, Bob. And Drew Swift coming in. 8-9-1 due up for the bottom of six for Midland. No balls and one strike. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be lifted high in the air up to right field. Campbell will have it in sight. And there is one down.
Now batting, the catcher.
You know, to tell you one thing, I am just so happy if 2026 schedule comes out and everything looks like a surprise. That would be most surprising. The catcher, Willie McIver, coming in as he'll hit that one out of play, foul, and the count now 0-1. Boy, bottom of the ninth, and Wichita down to their final 3 outs now. Not a good sign as Springfield look like they've won their 44th, or should I say 45, against the Wichita Wind Surge. The 0-2, swing and a miss, got him. Salas throws down to first, and in time completes the second out.
The batter, number 9.
So first strikeout going to Omar Cruz as he'll have that one in relief. Arabel Angeles coming in as he's set to go. Takes that one high and outside. It's ball 1. Oh, pretty good right there as, boy, Corpus Christi striking for 2. That's good news for Corpus Christi. They lead 3-1 against Northwest Arkansas, top of the 7th inning. And I think what they're trying to do is come back after so many losses in the first half. I mean, the main objective is doing that. Yeah, I got to say, John, pretty hard when it comes down to having so many losses and yet just having 24 wins of the year. Well, that'll pretty much be the inning, and so far 6 innings come and go. But Midland holds the lead. It's 1-0. As we head now to the top of the 7th inning for San Antonio when we come back. About set to go for the 7th inning for San Antonio, right now on the Rockhounds Baseball Network. So a right-hander, thank you, Bob, Stevie Emanuels is coming in as he'll be called upon to pitch here for Midland. Four-seam, a slider, and a cutter, but 96 on the four-seamer as he'll step in and get some pitching going for the Rockhounds.
The first baseman, number 6,
Marcos Castañon coming in as here we go for inning number 7. That is inside for a slider. The count now 0-1. One-run ball game for Midland. They have the advantage. And that is to win this one. Press forward for a 40-second win. That will put them a game and a half against San Antonio. And that's going to be a liner found. The count now 0-2. You know, Frisco is not doing too good tonight. They are down 5-1, top of the 8th inning. They're down to their final 6 outs. And just rough around the edges. That one right there, up to first, and Castañon is down on strikes.
Number 7.
It's a good thing for Corpus Christi. 3-1 against Northwest Arkansas. Jacob Campbell coming in as a 5th-hole batter. Playing up in right field. Always got to like this guy. He's got a strong determination of hitting the ball. Getting a base hit or a home run, it doesn't matter what, but evidently everybody that comes in and bats, they know what their main objective is. That is to win the ball game. And at the end of the year, hopefully getting into the Texas League playoffs and the championship series as well.
Designated hitter, Cole.
With 2 down, here is the designated hitter, Cole Roederer. He's 0 for 2, strikeout and a flyout. Clouds are starting to glow a orange hue here in the 7th inning. And that's going to be right there. Line drive. That is up the left field. That's a base hit. And finally, San Antonio getting something going. Now they got the tying run. They're a second.
Now batting, the third baseman, Gendry Rojas.
So that'll bring up Gendry Rojas. Base hit will get a runner home from second. And that's a ball outside. The count now 1-0. Rojas 1 for 1. He singled last time up in the ball game. We got a packed crowd here. I could tell you that for sure, Bob. Yeah, we'll give you totals when we come for the top half of the 8th inning here in Midland. Yep. 1 ball and 1 strike. Here's pitch. That one's going to be right there. High fly in the air. And they are still running after it. And they get there up to left center and to make the play. And that's the inning. No runs on a hit. No errors. Runner left stranded at second. And they will keep San Antonio off the board again as we head to the bottom of 7. The Rockhounds up by 1. Well, hope you had a great seventh inning stretch because we got more baseball ahead here in Midland. Well, leading off the next batter up for the Rockhounds, the second batter is Colby Halter. And take it away, John Baker. Thank you, Bob. Bottom of 7 as 1 for 2, Halter coming in. And the pitch, that is down and in. Curveball will be accounted for the ball. The count now 1-0. I'll tell you one thing, pretty good. Boy, you hear a lot of fans saying, let's go Rockhounds. Yeah, I do believe that they should get in there, and that one skied up the left field. That is Fabian's ball. And that is out number 1.
Now batting, the right fielder, Nate.
The right fielder is Nate Dankiel, 0 for 2, strikeout and a flyout. Arkansas now 9-3, bottom of the 7th inning there in Amarillo. Corpus Christi still holding 2 against Northwest Arkansas. And it's a 1-0 lead for Midland as they lead against San Antonio. Springfield, boy, big thrashing against Wichita. They are trying to come back there at the porch. And that's going to be right there. Liner straightaway up the left field. Boy, that is crushed out of here. It's gone. Nate Dankiel gets a home run. And so far it is a 2-run lead now for Midland. Well, Tulsa leading Frisco 5-1. And still a pretty good lead. I mean, Corpus Christi and Tulsa are the only 2 teams that we have talked about for over the last week or so. And those 2 teams really need to get something going. Yeah, that is for sure, John. Boy, pretty good line drive. That was a 368-foot, 99, near 100 mile per hour. And that's going to be right there, line drive, and that will bounce, so go foul. No balls, 1 strike. Midland leading 2-0. San Antonio trailing those 2 runs. And the 0-1. That's right there. Now to play the count now 0-2. So still hanging on is Nick Kurtz. So far, our final game here in Midland for the year is tomorrow. And, yep, we will see Midland again next year in Bronco Park. 3rd strikeout, and here's Caden Trinkle. Trinkle coming in, ready to go. And a pitch. That is right there, and out of play, foul. So the count now at 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Fouled off. No balls, 2 strikes to Trinkle. And the pitch. That one hit to Castagnon. And that's the inning. But Nate Dankiel getting up there. Scoring in some pretty good runs thus far. And so far that was 1 run on 1 hit, no errors. And we head to the 8th inning. Midland leading this game 2-0. We'll have a right-hander coming up for the top half of the 8th inning as we'll get set to go here in this one. So the Rockhounds leading 2 against San Antonio. It's a 2-0 ball game. Top half of the 8th inning for San Antonio right now on the Rockhounds Baseball Network. Yeah, you were about ready to say the Missions, but we're not in San Antonio, Bob. Not until Tuesday. Shohei Tomokioka is coming in now for Midland as he'll bat or pitch in relief. Nerwillian Cedeno coming in. He's 1 for 2, a single. Oh my goodness, just look at this guy. We're at the top of the 8th inning. A beautiful night here. And that's going to be lofted in the air up to right, and that will be out number 1.
Now batting, number 94.
Well, that'll bring up shortstop Leo Dallas DeVries. And the pitch. And that's going to be right there. Liner straight away up to right field. And that is now 2 down.
Left fielder, Albert.
There's still nothing going here in this half inning. Boy, 2 outs, and they'll bring up the left fielder, Albert Fabian. Just nothing doing here as now San Antonio down to their final 4 outs. They got to try to think of some ways to get up there. That is down and in for a called strike. And the count now at 0-1. San Antonio, if they can win this one, they'll claim their 44th. They'll put Midland down at least 2.5 against the San Antonio Missions. Frisco, if they lose against Tulsa, then that's a different story to tell now, is it? That one driven deep. Oh, my golly, that's to right. It is gone. Right there for left fielder Albert Fabian. And boy, he crushed that one. And San Antonio finally getting on the board. Boy, a lot of innings come and go, and they were scoreless innings. But evidently pretty good on that one. Well, Corpus Christi leading 4-1 against Northwest Arkansas. And that's a slider inside. The count now at 0-1. 0 for 2 by a walk inherited. Well, so far, pretty good ball game. 2-1 Midland. The Missions are leading or trailing. And that is crushed. That is deep. That is high in the air. It's gone. And Ethan Salas ties us up. Boy, tell you one thing, they get in there and they say, hey, let's keep it going. Boy, that orange sky just looks beautiful right on the camera. Well, time is being called as here comes the manager, and that's going to do for Shohei Tomokioka, as that will do for him. He has the task of giving up 2 runs. He did that, and he's gone.
Now pitching for the Rockhounds.
They tried to keep it a 2-0 ball game, and that'll bring up Tanner Dotson. It's a right-hander. 4-seam slider, curveball, and a 2-seam fastball. He'll pitch in relief for Midland. And so far, pretty good. And this is what baseball is all about these days, guys. And tell you one thing, we do have a beautiful sky tonight. This is our last ever night playing a night game here in Midland for the 2025 season. It's been pretty much good. But we got a lot more baseball ahead. I mean, first half may be coming to an end, but evidently we got a second half coming up. And so far, San Antonio taking on the last game tomorrow against Midland. Then Tuesday, it will be short 3 against Corpus Christi. Then it's going on the road to Corpus Christi. Then it is off to Wichita. Bottom half of the 8th coming up. Nick Schwartz will lead it off. Bolton Swift will follow in behind. And it's a 2-2 ball game here in Midland. We're back here right after this. Well, bottom half of the eighth inning for Midland right now, the Rockhounds Baseball Network. Well, Nick Schwartz coming in, 6'7", due up against Omar Cruz. Will come in. Cedeno intercepts that ground ball. And they'll be given to Castagnon there at first. So one down. The leadoff ground ball. Henry Bolt, the center fielder, is 0 for 2 and a pop out, a line out as well. Here's the pitch. Down and in, curveball gets down. And the count now at 1 ball and no strikes. Boy, so far, Springfield, final score 12-6 against Wichita. And they'll pick up win number 45. That's 5.5 games against Wichita. It's 7.5 against Arkansas, 8.5, and 14.5 against Tulsa. Here's a 1-1. That one, slow roller to DeVries. Right, the first quick out, number 2.
Now batting.
Boy, they're 2 up, 2 down here in this half inning as Bolt goes down. Third baseman Drew Swift coming in. You know, Arkansas leading Amarillo now 9-3. They are up by 7 there in Water Ridge Field in downtown Amarillo. That one right there in that count now 1-0. 9,353. Got a great home crowd here in Midland. And that's count now at 1 ball and 1 strike. So far for the 4th of July coming up, which that's pretty good. Midland will play their last game against San Antonio tomorrow, and then Tuesday we'll start off a leadoff 3 against Amarillo. San Antonio, and yes, we do go back to San Antonio tomorrow after the game. We'll take on Corpus Christi, and it's off to Corpus Christi after that. Well, 8 innings come and go, as that one was driven up nicely up the left, and Fabian will get that last play and last out. And we're on now to the 9th inning, and we're tied at 2. So Marcos Castañon will lead it off when we come back, and it's 2-2 our score. We head now to the top of the 9th inning for San Antonio right now on the Rockhounds Baseball Network. Well, Marcos Castañon coming in as we head to the 9th inning. And so far the Clouds starting to lose their color here tonight. Sunset, beautiful evening for this baseball game. How blessed we are to have baseball once again. Even though back in 2020 when COVID-19 hit, we had to spend 610 days without no baseball. But evidently we won't have another bogus type of, I could tell that was just bogus. Yeah, people got sick because of a really bad cold and stuff. But evidently, when you do have a bad cold, it means staying in bed, getting your bed rest, drinking plenty of liquids. If you feel stuffed up, just know that there is a washcloth. You can put that warm water on there and some Vicks, and it will pretty much get you unstuffed if you're feeling stuffy. That's going to be right there. Line drive. That's a base hit going up to center field. And that's going to bring in the untying run, and San Antonio now takes the lead.
Now batting, The designated hitter, Cole Roederer.
That'll bring up Cole Roederer as he'll stand in. Boy, San Antonio trying to get their 44th of this season. That would put the Rockhounds, I should say, down to at least 4.5 games in that one. And that's going to be right there, line drive. That's a base hit. And a run, a relay, not in time. So that's an RBI double.
Now batting, the third
And now San Antonio now leading 2.
Rojas.
And that'll bring in Yendry Rojas. But first, let's go ahead and get a pitching change for Midland, as that will do for the second relief starter here in this ball game. Or how many starters has it been? Well, I got to say, John, this could have been a third or fourth starter.
For the Rockhounds,
But now the right-hander is coming out is Jack Weisenberger getting the call for Midland. They're pretty good right there. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be driven up nicely. That is deep. That is high in the air, and here comes the runner. Yendry Rojas will get that runner to third base, and 90 feet away
now
is
batting, second baseman.
another run for San Antonio. Norwellian Cedeno coming in. He's 1 for 3, a single. One away with 2 more outs for San Antonio for the evening. That's a high pop-up, straightaway up to center. And they're not going to chance it. No way. That'd be a double play waiting to happen. Yep, it sure would, John. I got to say, it would have been bad.
Now batting, number 94.
And that'll bring up Leo Dallas DeBreeze as he comes in. And a pitch. And that's going to be blistered high in the air, deep. And that'll hit the base of the wall. That's the RBI double by DeVries. And no wonder he's my favorite type player. So pretty good on that. And so far, it was a pretty good one. No balls, 1 strike. The pitch right there. Stopped at first, and they got him. Boy, I will say that 5 runs come in across the score. But 4 of them score on 5 hits, no errors. And they leave 1. So we go bottom of the 9th. And San Antonio leading this game 5-2 against Midland. MacGyver, Angeles, and Halter will lead it off when we come back. Bottom half of the 9th inning set to go for Midland right now on the Rockhounds Baseball Network. Well, Willie MacGyver coming in. Omar Cruz now pitching for San Antonio. Will hit that one out of play. The count now at 0-1.
1.
And right there, that is ball 1 on a pitch clock violation. And here is the 1-1. That one high in the air up to the shortstop DeVries. And there's one down.
The batter, number 9, shortstop Ariel Angeles.
I'll bring up Irabel Angeles as he comes in. And ready to go. The pitch. That is fouled off. And the count now, 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. The pitch. That one popped up foul. Only so far it is 6-1 for Tulsa. Tulsa Drillers 6, Frisco Rough Riders 1. Corpus Christi still holding a 2-run lead against Northwest Arkansas. They're 4-2.
Nope, that's a ball.
Top of the 9th inning. Well, that's going to be a ball. And so far, that would be 1 ball, 2 strikes to Angeles. And a pitch. That one, straightaway center. Line drive, that's a base hit. I'll tell you one thing.
Now batting.
It's kind of rough.
Colby Halter.
Oh, Colby Halter coming in. 1 away, no, but 1 away. Ooh, can't even talk tonight. By golly. 1 out, 1 on. Here for Midland. And that's going to be right there. Line drive up to Fabian, and he's got it for the out. So Rockhounds down to their final out.
The right fielder, number 19, Nate Nankiel.
And that'll bring up Nate Nankiel. Home run, RBI in the run is 1 for 3. San Antonio 5, Midland 2 here in this ball game. And they're going to throw to first, and they're back in standing. Cruz getting the closing door on this ball game, and that's going to be inside for a strike. And the count now at 0-1. The pitch. That's a liner. That's a straight up to center field for a base hit. So now it is the tying run coming in. And fans are saying, we order more baseball if you get us tied up and stuff. Well, that's going to be a liner up to straightaway center, and that's going to fall down for a base hit. Now Midland getting in to score, and now it's a 2-run lead for San Antonio as they edge a bit closer. Rockhounds has something pulling up in their sleeves. Or do they have the rabbit in the hat, like a magic trick? I bet they do. Yeah, I got to say, John, it could be that or something else. But anyway, that will pretty much do it for
San Antonio.
that.
Number 24.
Jason Blanchard is getting out the call here for a relief pitching assignment. And the manager says, well, you got the open door, but you're going to close it here tonight. I can guarantee you that right now. Well, with Jason Blanchard now pitching for San Antonio. 2-1-2 out here in the bottom half of the 9th inning. Winning run is Caden Trinkle. And he's going to intercept right there, and that wins it. And 1 pitch, how do you like that? And San Antonio gets their 44th of the season. Well, that only means one thing, that San Antonio will definitely get to see a Texas playoff spot this year. Midland being a team that will definitely stay in second place for the time being. But anyway, we're starting to get some scores to come in. Tulsa beats Frisco, so that will be 40-33 for the Rough Riders. 29. That looks like win number 29 for Tulsa, and indeed it is. Again, some final scores. Arkansas beats Amarillo 9-4. So it will be 38-36. Amarillo now 34-40. So Corpus Christi getting the final score. They'll win their 25th of the season against Northwest Arkansas. Well, I've got to say, everybody played baseball tonight. And so far, we're just super excited on how everything went today. Evidently, we're seeing the post-game fireworks here tonight. Our time of our broadcast is 2 hours and 38 minutes, which that is a pretty good broadcast in my opinion, but evidently it was a pretty good one. Well, tomorrow we are going to start up at 1:05. San Antonio and Midland will start up 1:05. Springfield and Wichita will get a 1:05 start. And then Northwest Arkansas, Corpus Christi will get a 4 o'clock start. Tulsa and Frisco, Arkansas and Amarillo will get 7:05 starts tomorrow evening. Well, anyway, it has been a pretty good day thus far, and so far we'll give you runs, hits, and errors first for the victorious San Antonio Missions. 5 runs, 10 hits, no errors. And they leave a couple on base, so not too bad tonight. The player of the game tonight goes to Albert Fabian, and the win goes to the San Antonio reliever Omar Cruz. For the Midland, 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors. Tanner Dodson will get the loss here tonight for the Rockhounds. And so far, pretty good night for the San Antonio Missions. Well, we are one more game left here in Midland for this year. And so far, it's going to be pretty good. But anyway, we thank y'all for coming into our broadcast tonight. And so far, we hope to see y'all again. And yeah, it's going to be a hot one tomorrow. And yeah, let's hope that we have some pretty good cloud cover tomorrow. Block out the sun and give us some nice cooler temperatures. I mean, that's all we need and stuff. But anyway, we thank y'all very much for this broadcast. And we will see y'all again tomorrow afternoon. Gates open at high noon. So our final score, San Antonio 5, Midland 3. So anyway, have a safe travel home. And we'll see you again tomorrow evening. Or tomorrow afternoon. Yeah, afternoon it is. Have a good night, everybody.